High Strategist Keth Vor slammed his claw on the command dais. Broadcast fleet-wide, Sol system classified defenseless, no warships above corvette tonnage. Occupation timetable, 72 hours. His bridge crew chorused affirmatives. Holographic readouts spun, Earth's orbitals packed with freighters, no battle fleets. Keth's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. Doctrine held, superior tonnage crushed primitives. Prioritize sensor sweeps for military assets, he ordered. Ignore civilian gate infrastructure. Those transit relays pose no threat. Lock formations on primary corridor. Sensors hummed. The fleet 200 dreadnoughts flanked by swarms of corvettes aligned for the warp jump. Keth leaned forward. Humans had gone silent after first contact. Restraint or surrender. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas pressed her thumb to the silence protocol slate. The order flashed green across Earth Defense Command's logistics hub. No transmissions outbound, she said. All Allied vessels reroute to commercial lanes. Now. Captain Elias Ward nodded from the gateweb console. His screens tracked thousands of markers, merchant haulers, colony ferries, even tourist shuttles, slipping into the sprawl of Sol's trade gates. Redirects complete, Admiral. Every ship ghosts into civvy traffic. Mina scanned the equation board. Inputs, invader tonnage 1.2 million. Outputs, distributed ambush vectors timed to the second. She hid decisive capabilities in plain sight, logistics as weapon. Juno, deception layer up. Lieutenant Juno Park's fingers flew over yield panels. False echoes deployed. Enemy sees empty orbitals, bloated freighters, no military signatures. Mina's jaw set. The invaders trusted metrics. Humans played systems. Dr. Sana Ilias twisted the final hardline trigger into the Sol relay core. Sparks danced, then steadied. The civilian gate, disguised as a routine transit hub, hummed alive. Remote access severed, she announced into her comm. Dormant relays armed across the web, failsafes modular, unbreakable. Elias Ward's voice crackled back. Confirming cascade sync, Doctor. 87 gates primed, triggers keyed to enemy formation lock. Sana wiped sweat from her brow. She'd built these for peace, warp jumps between colonies. Now propulsion physics flipped to trap. One invader ship through the primary corridor and the web snapped shut. Test pulse green, they're blind to it. She sealed the panel. Humans didn't build for show, they built to endure. Keth Vor's fleet pierced the primary corridor. Stars warped into streaks. Formation locked, his navigator reported. All dreadnoughts nominal, no contacts. Keth's sensors pinged empty space. Earth's gates dotted the lanes, irrelevant civvy tech. Tonnage metrics confirmed, zero threat. He keyed the occupation channel. Sol command, this is High Strategist Keth Vor. Surrender accepted. Prepare for boarding. Silence. Repeat broadcast, he snapped. Static, his XO hissed. Human signals dropped off, all bands quiet. Keth waved it away. Intimidated, push Vanguard through the gate cluster, secure beachhead. Dreadnoughts surged forward. The primary gate loomed, a massive civilian arch ignored in sweeps. Lead ships jumped. Captain Elias Ward watched the board. Invader icons blipped into position. Formation locked, primary corridor committed, execute phase 1. Juno Park grinned. Yield blackout engaged. They see nothing but ghosts. Mina Rojas stood behind him. Gateweb initiate. Elias tapped the checklist. Thousands of relays fired in unison, not as portals, but as synchronized warp disruptions. Modular failsafes chained. Each gate pulled invader ships off vector into kill zones. Alarms blared on Keth's bridge. Anomaly, Vanguard vanishing, warp shears. Keth gripped his console. Sensors exploded with signatures. Human ships, thousands, materialized from commercial lanes. Freighters shed hull plates, revealing railguns. Shuttles birthed drone swarms. The gateweb twisted his fleet into knots. Impossible, Keth roared. Civvy infrastructure, trap. Mina's voice cut through the command net, calm as steel. High Strategist. Your metrics missed the equation. Welcome to Sol. Elias Ward synced the next volley. Logistics won wars. Timing sealed them. High Strategist Keth Vor's dreadnought shuddered. Corvettes crumpled under railgun fire. His fleet, locked in rigid formation, fed into the web. Break formation, he bellowed. But gates snapped like jaws, warp fields inverted, slingshotting invaders into each other. Sensors screamed. Human tonnage tripled, hidden in plain lanes. No improvisation, just checklists executed flawlessly. Keth's XO clutched a sparking panel. They're not fighting, they're hurting us. A human frigate ghosted past, drones lancing his shields. Keth keyed emergency jump. Too late. The web's core relay pulsed. His ship spun into void. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas watched the holotank. Invader icons winked out, 50% losses in minutes. Dr. Ilya's web integrity? She asked. Perfect, Sana replied. Hardlines held, no breaches. Juno Park leaned back. Deception held till lockdown, they chased shadows. Ilya's ward marked the board complete. Logistics equation balanced, Admiral, fleet neutralized. Mina nodded. Humans didn't declare victory by metrics. They won by moving pieces while the enemy monologued. One dreadnought escaped the web, limping toward jump point. Mina's finger hovered. Redirect reserves, end it. The board updated, silence broken by human fire. Keth Vor's final broadcast crackled. How? Earth didn't answer, it acted. Captain Ilya's ward tapped the dispersal sequence. Escorts slewed off container hulls like shadows peeling from freighters. Thousands of them, sleek human corvettes and frigates, blended into Sol's routine freight traffic. Each bore a civilian tag, grain hauler, hydroponic ore, fusion pellets. Ward's console tallied, 4,217 units dispersed. 0 anomalies. He cross-checked the checklist. Gate anchors nominal, thrust vectors aligned to traffic lanes. Ops confirm scatter pattern, Ward said. Lieutenant Hayes nodded from the pit. Pattern holds, sir, they're ghosts in the stream. Ward allowed a thin smile, no improvisation, just schedule. High strategist Keth Vor's invasion fleet loomed at the system edge, 5 dreadnoughts, 40 cruisers, swarm of corvettes. Sensors pegged Earth as defenseless. No massed battle line, just panicked civvy ships bolting for the Uit. Perfect camouflage. Ward synced the fleet net. Escorts went dark, reactors idled to match freighter wakes. They drifted toward gate nodes, hidden warp points woven into civilian transit webs. Dr. Ilya's modular failsafes turned commuter gates into ambush springs. Ward's job, position the fangs. Phase 1 green, he transmitted to command. The board blinked ready. Lieutenant Juno Park triggered the decoy swarm. Transponders bloomed across border space, 10,000 ghosts mimicking evac freighters. Panic signatures spiked, distress beacons, engine flares, fake fusion trails leading outward. Park watched her holoscreen. Invader probes lit up, chasing the bait. Feed the shadows, she murmured. Her Yeo drones spoofed sensor ghosts, bloated liners dumping cargo, shuttles scattering like roaches. No real ships, just signal mirages riding plasma wakes. Decoy density at 98%, her tech reported. They're biting. Park adjusted the trail. Flares curved toward the Kuiper belt, widening the pursuit arc. Vor's fleet would stretch to intercept. Earth appeared broken, fleeing. Invaders saw weakness. Park made sure they did. She keyed a tight beam to Rojas. Panic trail live, Admiral. They're accelerating. A ping returned, acknowledged. Park leaned into her harness. Deception won battles. Her signals controlled eyes. What they saw became truth until Ward's web snapped. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas rerouted the first tanker convoy. Divert Alpha 9 to Relief Depot Echo 5, she ordered. Fuel pods, food synths, reaction mass cylinders, marked for refugee aid, shifted onto gate node vectors. Holotank showed the web, civilian gates forming a lattice around Sol, nodes stocked like primed charges. Logistics solved equations. Rojas treated war as supply flow. Invaders scanned empty orbitals, blind to the freight disguised as her hidden fleet, escorts in containers, ammo in grain. Missiles nested in depot drums. Commodore Hale confirmed mass redistribution, Rojas said. Hale's face flickered on split screen. 92% on nodes, Admiral. Food stocks double as kinetic fillers. Fuel lines hardened. Rojas nodded. Vor's doctrine demanded quick occupation. Earth restraint read as surrender. She hid fangs in the chain that fed her people. Dr. Ilya's gate stress models, Sana Ilya's patched in from the core relay. Warp field stable. Failsafe's modular. Any node loss isolates, doesn't cascade. We're a net, not a chain. Rojas traced the holotank. Invader icons pushed inward, corvettes fanning to block evac routes. Pursuit arc widened perfect. Reroute beta convoys, balance the board. High strategist Keth Vor slammed his podium. Probes confirmed, human evac fleet scattering, ripe for the cut. Accelerate to intercept vectors, he commanded. His dreadnought Vanguard Spear Asterisk thrust forward. Cruisers flanked, corvettes darted ahead. Sensors painted the prize, bloated freighters dumping cargo, signals screaming panic. No battle line opposed them. Earth orbitals dark, defenses silent. Doctrine held superior tonnage overwhelmed primitives. Status XO, Vor demanded. Commander Lurse glanced at readouts. Evac trail splits Kuiper-wide, pursuit arc optimal, will envelop in 12 cycles. Vor's mandibles clicked satisfaction. Decorated from the Veil campaigns, he trusted metrics. Human output, negligible, fleet cohesion, his. Lock gun batteries on lead runners, signal surrender demand. Probes tallied shadows, thousands fleeing. Vor widened the net. Easy occupation. Glory, Captain Elias Ward's chrono hit T-30. Invader arc stretched thin, strung across gate nodes. His escorts idled in freight husks, reactors synced, weapons cold. Web status, Ward said. Full sync, Hayes replied. 4,217 assets on station. Gates dormant. Ward scanned the checklist. Deception confirmed via Park's feed. Logistics locked per Rojas. Timing aligned. He inhaled. No flare. One word. Execute. Codes rippled out. Quantum-locked pulses to every node. Gates woke. Warp fields hummed alive across Sol. Civilian transit lattice igniting as one. Freight containers split. Escorts surged. Corvettes knifing from grain halls. Frigates uncoiling from ore drums. Thousands strong they pounced. High strategist Keth Vor's dreadnought shuddered. Alarms wailed, sensors flipped, human tonnage tripled, escorts materializing from civvy traffic. Gates snapped open around his fleet, warp maws slingshotting corvettes into cruisers. Break formation, Vor bellowed, too late. Rigid lines fed the web. Railgun volleys from hidden frigates crumpled his van. Gates inverted fields, hurling invaders into each other. Vanguard's spear bucked as a human drone lance-pierced shields. Keth's XO clutched a sparking panel. Warp ambushes, they're hurting us. Logistics trap. A frigate ghosted past, lasers carving hulls. Vor keyed emergency jump. Gates pulsed coreward, spinning his ship into void. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas watched the holotank. Invader icons winked out, 50% losses in minutes. Escorts danced the web, herded by Ward's precision. Dr. Ilya's web integrity? Rojas asked. Perfect, Sana replied over comm. Hardlines held, failsafes isolated, 3 nodes, fleet adapts. Juno Park leaned back in her station. Deception locked till execute, they chased my shadows. Ward marked his board complete. Logistics equation balanced, Admiral, fleet neutralized. Rojas nodded once. Humans didn't boast metrics, they moved pieces while enemies chased ghosts. One dreadnought limped free, Vor's flagship, crawling to jump point. Rojas's finger hovered reserves icon. Redirect hunters. End it, the board updated. Reserve frigates peeled off, Gates flinging them ahead. Silence fell, broken by human fire. Keth Vor's final broadcast crackled through. How? Rojas killed the channel. Earth didn't explain, it closed the net. Lieutenant Juno Park patched fresh decoys into the chase vector. Vor's survivor wouldn't jump clean. Yo drones spoofed safe lanes, herding it into killboxes. But a new ping spiked, invader reinforcements warping in system edge. Park's eyes narrowed. Admiral, they've called backup. Rojas's voice cut sharp. Spin up outer web. Logistics reroute begins now. Ward already cued the checklist. The equation reset. Dr. Sana Ilias slammed the execute key. Gates hot. 10,000 booting parallel. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas gripped her command rail. The holotank ignited. Green sparks bloomed across the outer system, pinpoint warp gates, hidden in asteroid belts, Lagrange clouds, derelict probes. Each one pulsed alive, forcing tight beam handshakes with neighbors only. No wide broadcasts, no chatter to betray them. Invader reinforcements filled the display, 200 warships warping in at the system edge, their formation a flawless lattice of blue icons, perfect spacing, doctrine tight. But now those icons twitched, drifted. Web integrity green, Sana reported. Her face filled a side panel, eyes locked on readouts from her gate architect bunker. Local links only, no cascade risk. Rojas nodded. Logistics first, always. Captain Ward mission packages, now. Captain Elias Ward's voice cut through, steady as a checklist. Assigning, Gate 1 through 47, microgate spawn protocols. 48 to 92, frigate sling vectors, rest hold for hunter redirect. His fingers flew across his ops board. Each gate received 1 packet sealed, single-use, no crosstalk allowed. Blockers snapped into place. The web locked down, a silent lattice ready to bite. Juno Park leaned into her Yo console. Injecting noise. Her signals lanced out, timing jitter into the invaders' FTL nav beacons. Microsecond desyncs rippled through their formation clocks. Ships that synced at 98% efficiency now staggered at point 0.9. Vectors wobbled. Rojas watched the drift accelerate. The invaders' vanguard, 50 corvettes and cruisers, edged ahead of their escorts. Gaps yawned open. Fuel readouts on her tanks spiked red for them already. High strategist Kethvor's intercept crackled live on Rojas's priority feed. His bridge voice boomed, translated sharp by Juno's jammers. Formation drift detected, sensor ghosts reform now, burn mains, align on beacon prime. Vor's flagship thrummed at the lattice heart. Crew scrambled. Engines flared across his fleet. They guzzled maneuver fuel to snap back into grid, but the noise deepened. Beacons pulsed erratic, ships overshot, collided in microcorrections, fuel margins plummeted, Rojas's lips thinned. They chase phantoms, Dr. Ilya's first-wave microgates. Open them inside their vanguard voids. Affirm, Sana said, her consoles hummed. 10,000 gates hummed in echo, select nodes unfolded. Microportals ripped open, not on hulls, but in the empty black between vanguard ships. Pinprick rifts, each 2 meters wide, silent. Invisible to brute force alien sensors. Earth frigates poured through, not masses of them. Precision loads, 20 hunters per rift, micro-jumped into the gaps. Railguns hot, missiles slaved towards packages. The holotank lit firework red. Invader corvettes shredded first. Frigate packs hit from blind angles, rails punching reactors before point defense spun up. A cruiser buckled as 4 hunters latched, boarding drones spilling into vents. Explosions chained. Vor's vanguard lost 30% in 10 seconds. Vor bellowed on intercept. Evasive, vanguard fall back to lattice core, what sorcery? His words cut as his own escorts veered wrong. Desinced clocks turned allies into obstacles. Collision klaxons wailed fleet-wide. Ward marked his board. Packages expended on Wave 1. Web recycling, next slings queued. Reserves committed, Rojas ordered. Hunters to outer flanks, heard them coreward. Juno patched in decoys. Ghost fleets bloomed on invader scopes, fake Earth squadrons mirroring their drift. Vor's ships split fire, burning more fuel. Rojas studied the tank. Invaders held numbers, firepower metrics at 2-to-1, but her equation balanced. Gates recycled in 90 seconds. Logistics flowed, ammo feeds from orbital fabs, drone resupply via gate daisy chains. Humans didn't match brute force, they multiplied it. Sana's voice spiked. Gate 3-5 reporting stress. Enemy probe hit a handshake node. Isolate, Rojas snapped. Done, failsafe modular reroute complete. Vor's fleet clawed cohesion. His dreadnought anchored the center, lances sweeping decoys, but hunters nipped flanks. Microgates spat fresh packs, torpedo swarms this time, slaved to desync vectors. They curved into engine wakes, detonating fuel lines. Fuel critical on their rears, Ward noted. Burn estimates down 40%. Rojas keyed fleet-wide. All commands maintain gate discipline. No heroics, checklists hold. A frigate captain broke in voice taut. Admiral, we're threaded tight, 1 gate flicker, trust the web, Rojas cut. Equation holds, Park grinned at her station. Their strategist panics, intercept, full retreat order forming. Vor's bridge feed showed chaos. Officers gestured wildly. High strategist, clocks won't resync, beacons live, formation integrity at 62. Doctrine demands alignment, Vor roared. His claws slammed a console. Burn reserves, close the lattice. Earth rabble can't sustain this. But they did. Rojas watched reserves peel in outer web gates, flinging hunter wings ahead. Vor's vanguard dissolved. Wreckage fields birthed new killboxes. Ships vented atmo, crews ejecting into drone nets. Sana chimed. Web at 98%, 3 nodes dark but adapts. Juno leaned forward. Deception peaking, they're blind to half our slings. Ward cleared his board. Logistics green, fuel parity in 5. Rojas exhaled once. Humans built systems, invaders chased metrics. Vor's voice broke through again, strained. All ships emergency warp prep, system edge. Park's fingers danced. Noise jammed, their jump clocks desync by minutes. Microgates yawned anew. Final hunter waves transited, straight into warp nacelle shadows. Lances fired point blank. The tank updated. Invader icons winked out. 80% neutralized. Vor's dreadnought listed hull breached. Rojas hovered her finger over kill confirm, not yet. A fresh ping spiked deep coreward. 3rd wave reinforcements bigger. Gate signatures massive. Admiral, Ward said. Outer web spun, equation reroutes ready. Rojas smiled cold. Trigger full cascade, let them drift into hell. 10,000 gates pulse deeper. The invaders' survivors scattered straight into the next net. Vor's final hail flickered. Impossible, your worlds were defenseless. Rojas killed it. Earth didn't answer boasts, it closed gates, but the coreward ping swelled. Carriers, invasion cores, the real hammer dropped. Ward cued the outer lattice. Sana booted redundance. Juno spoofed lanes wide. Rojas gripped the rail. Logistics reset. Equation balanced for the long game. The holotank refreshed. New blue icons warped in blind to the web tightening around them. Drift began anew. Ward slammed the transit command. Palletized railgun pods surged through microgates, each a whisper of blue distortion blooming inside invader hull shadows. Rojas watched the holotank. Pods locked into firing grids around the dreadnought's flanks and carrier bays. 87% placement. Perfect. Grid's hot, Admiral, Ward said. His voice stayed level, checklist scrolling beside his console. Pods synced, fire on your mark. She nodded once. Logistics first, always. The coreward reinforcements warped in, 50 fresh icons, carriers bloated with invasion cores, escorts fanning wide. Vor's survivors scattered into them, forming hasty pickets. Metrics favored the invaders. Tonnage tripled, warp output dwarfed Sol's defenses. Earth didn't fight metrics. Detonate sheer mines, Rojas ordered. Her finger tapped the cascade trigger. Gate sheer mines, Sana's modular failsafes, seeded months ago in civilian transit lanes, ignited. Invisible until now. Sensor lines across the invader escorts vaporized. Thin warp rifts sliced data relays like hot knives through foil. Escort coordination blinked offline. Icons on the tank fractured into isolated blips. Blind confirmed, Lieutenant Park reported. Their nets shredded, reacquisition in 90 seconds. Rojas gripped the rail. Good timing held. High strategist Keth Vor stared at his flagship bridge holofield. Sensor ghosts flickered, human decoys, no readouts lied. His fleet massed victory, Earth ships, negligible, defenseless primitives. Counter-salvo all batteries, Vor barked. Target those pod signatures. Doctrine holds, overwhelm volume. Guns roared from his dreadnought. Plasma lances and missile swarms leaped into the void, zeroing on the fleeting railgun grids. Escorts echoed the fire, point defense grids priming, but Park's fingers flew. Yeo-Suite spoofed IFF returns, fake friendly transponders bloomed amid the real pods. Invader point defense hesitated, algorithms querying, ally or threat. Real railgun pods fired first. Tungsten slugs punched through carrier hulls at Mach 50. No recoil. No signatures until impact. Breaches vented atmosphere in silent fireballs. Invasion cores crumpled, troops never deploying. Vor's holofield updated. Salvo wasted on decoy volumes, empty space park had seeded with ghost echoes. His counterfire hit nothing. Pods repositioning, Ward announced, calm as clockwork. He rotated the gateweb lattice. Microgates spun coordinates, sucking pods back through rifts, redeploying to fresh grids around the dreadnought's warped nacelles. Invaders couldn't range them. Gates closed faster than sensors cycled. Rojas exhaled, systems held. Sana, status on redundance. Dr. Ilias glanced up from her propulsion board, hijab pinned back. Web integrity 98%. Failsafe cycled 3 times. They're chasing shadows. The tank refreshed. Invader carriers listed, escorts blind and isolated. Vor's dreadnought shed armor plates, nacelles sparking. Another beat pulsed from Rojas' console. Ward's logistics feed, fuel parity in 4 minutes. Pods recycled. Ammo pallets queued. Admiral, Ward said. Equation balances. Reinforcements drift into outer net. She studied the flow, humans built for the long game. Invaders chased kills. Vor pounded his command dais. Regain sensor net, flank those gates, warp interdiction fields. His captains echoed, but escorts flailed. Blinded, they fired blind. Human decoys absorbed the barrage, Park spoofs multiplying ghosts tenfold. Rail pods struck again. Slugs riddled engine compartments. A carrier exploded, debris webbing friendly hulls. They're everywhere, a sub-commander yelled. Pods phasing through bulkheads, Vor snarled. Doctrine failed. Humans didn't outgun, they infested, Rojas keyed fleet-wide. All stations maintain drift vectors, let them commit. Park layered noise. Invader jump clocks desensed further, minutes off now. Carriers couldn't flee. Ward pushed fresh pallets. Microgates yawned inside Vor's dreadnought bay. Pods locked, fired, hull breaches multiplied, Vor's bridge alarms wailed, Rojas hovered her finger, not yet, Sana patched through. Gate web expanding, outer lattice snares their flanks. The tank showed it, 10,000 gates pulse deeper, civilian nets weaponized. Invaders drifted coreward straight into the next grid. Vor's hail pierced the jam. Primitives, yield your worlds, metrics seal your fate. Rojas killed the channel, no boasts answered boasts. Ward cleared his board. Pods 85% recycled, grids realigning. Juno Park grinned faint. Their point defenses locked on fakes, real shots inbound. Sheer mines detonated anew. Fresh sensor lines severed. Escorts spun wild, firing on phantoms. Invader icons winked out. 60% of reinforcements gone. Vor's dreadnought vented plasma, but the coreward ping hadn't faded. Fourth wave signatures built, dreadnoughts proper, gate fortresses trailing. Rojas reset her equation. Logistics rerouted, fuel parity in 3. Spin the web wider, she said. Ward nodded. Gates rotated seamless. Park spoofed lanes broader, hurting the survivors. Sana booted extra redundants. Web holds, they can't see the noose. Vor ordered retreat warp. Clocks lagged. Fields collapsed mid-build. Pods hammered home. His dreadnought buckled. Rojas watched the tank. Blue icons tightened. Drift accelerated. A new alert spiked, gate fortress signatures resolving. Bigger hammer time. Admiral, Ward said. Outer web locked, full cascade ready. She smiled cold. Trigger it. Microgates bloomed across the fortress prows. Pods flooded bays. Slugs flew before ramps dropped. Invaders transited blind into hell. Vor's final transmission crackled. How defenseless, static. Rojas closed the gates, equation balanced, but the tank pinged again, 5th wave. Massive, logistics green. Web spun anew, drift began, Ward cued the lattice. Pods inbound, grids forming. Park layered spoofs. Their sensors see allies everywhere. Sana patched flows. Redundance infinite. Civilian gates hold. Rojas gripped tighter. Systems won wars. Invaders chased metrics. The holotank bloomed with fresh blue. Fortresses warped in, escorts dense. Sheer mines whispered alive. Pods locked. Fire. Carriers shredded. Fortresses blind. Vor's successor hailed desperate. Surrender terms. Rojas ignored it. Timing perfect. Ward rotated grids. Invaders drifted deeper. 5th wave committed. 6 signatures built beyond. Equation holds, Rojas murmured. Humans didn't outgun fleets. They put guns where fleets already were. The web tightened. Drift eternal. Pods surged. Gates yawned. War flipped. But coreward the real armada massed. Galactic reserves. Rojas reset pallets. Logistics infinite. Spin it up, she said. Ward complied. Gates pulsed. New icons warped blind. Hell awaited. Gates ripped open inside the 6th wave's lead fortress. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas watched the holotank bloom with microportals. Blue icons swarmed red hulls. Boarding pods locked onto pre-mapped vents and compartments. She tapped her console. Ward, precision captures only. Prioritize logistics nodes, fuel depots, ammo bays, bridge backups, no kill chases. Captain Elias Ward's face filled her split screen, calm as ever. Targets assigned by value, Admiral. Teams inbound with checklists synced. His fingers danced over holographic grids. Thousands of gates stabilized, each one human-sized, blooming silent in disabled invader sections. No hull breaches needed. Space folded under marine boots. Rojas nodded. Her fleet hung back, a ghost in the outer belt. Invaders chased sensor ghosts. Juno Park spoofs painted human ships as scattered wrecks. Metrics lied. Earth didn't outgun them. She outsupplied them. Lieutenant Juno Park's voice cut in. Comms lockdown active. Piggybacking their emergency protocols now. Rojas glanced at the yield feed. Park layered false signals into the invaders' internal nets. Crews saw ally reinforcements flooding corridors. Panic spread as human marines ghosted through bulkheads, stun rounds dropping officers before questions formed. High strategist Keth Vor's carrier shuddered on Rojas' main display. His bridge cam, hacked by Park, showed chaos. Vor barked orders in guttural clicks, his mandibles flaring. Seal compartments, scuttle the auxiliaries, deny them prizes. 2 carriers lit up. Explosive decompression vented atmosphere. Shockwaves rippled out, slamming the gate lattice. Rojas gripped her armrests. Alarms wailed. Lattice strain hit 80%. Web buckling, Ward reported. Power surges incoming. Dr. Ilias, Rojas snapped. Hard clamp it. Sana Ilias substation feeds flickered live. The warp gate architect patched from a Tokyo bunker, her hands blurring over controls. Clamping now, rerouting through civilian grids, subway lines, data centers, arcologies, redundance hold. Power flows inverted. Household gates worldwide pulsed, feeding the web. Lattice stabilized at 92%. Rojas exhaled. Systems 1. Invaders measured hulls and guns. She measured pallets, endless chains from lunar forges to orbital docks. Marines secured the first fortress core. Ward's teams dragged fuel cells through gates to waiting tenders. Logistics value 80% captured, Admiral. Enemy escorts drifting blind. Vor's final stand played out. His carrier twisted, thrusters firing wild. He triggered the scuttle charges himself. Bridge feed caught his salute to the stars. For the concordance, humans, primitives. The blast wave hit harder, lattice flexed. Ilias cursed softly. Overload on Node 7. Tokyo arcology blacked out, rerouting via Seoul. Hold it, Rojas ordered. Her tank showed the 7th wave signatures building coreward. Massive reserves, but her pallets spun up fresh. Park, amp the spoofs, make them see victory. Park grinned. Allies massing ahead, sir. They'll commit full. Invaders bit. Flagship transited blind into the drift zone. Gates yawned inside engine bays. Pods dropped. Marines flowed. Rojas authorized the next cascade. Ward, rotate grids. Capture their gate drives intact. Grids spinning. Teams mapped. Ward's voice stayed level. Checklists ticked off 2,000 maneuvers, 0 improvisations. A Marine squad leader patched through from Vor's gutted carrier. Deck secure, ma'am. Fuel bays ours. Enemy logs show 5th wave depleted, 6th chasing phantoms. Good. Rojas cross-checked her equation. Invader tonnage inbound, confirmed. Human logistics green across the board. Pods recycled via microgates. Ammo fed from Earthside factories, timing locked. Keth Vor's successor hailed, frantic, from the drifting fortress. Human commander, terms, we yield this vector. Rojas muted it, no terms, not yet. Her web tightened. 7th wave warped in, escorts dense. Sheer minds whispered alive along drift paths. Park's deception herded them perfect. Pods locked, Ward said. Fire, carriers shredded first. Fortresses went blind, sensors spoofed to overload. Invaders fired on ghosts. Friendly fire bloomed red on her tank. Ilias pinged. Lattice at max. Civilian draw hitting limits. Blackouts spreading. Prioritize. Keep it alive, Rojas said. Pallets inbound, spin up backups. Substations hummed worldwide. Gates held. The successors hail cracked desperate. Surrender, name your static. Ward's teams breached the bridge. Precision stuns dropped the command crew. Marines hauled data cores through portals. Rojas smiled cold. Equation balanced again. But coreward, the Galactic Armada massed true, 8th wave signatures resolving. Bigger than Intel predicted. Admiral, Ward said. Outer web locked, full cascade ready for 8. She checked logistics. Green, infinite. Trigger it. Microgates bloomed across fortress prows. Pods flooded bays. Slugs flew before ramps dropped. Invaders transited blind into hell anew. Rojas leaned forward. Humans didn't cross space. Space opened under their boots. But the tank pinged. 9th wave, Armada core, her pallets reset. Logistics spun. Ward cued the lattice. Pods inbound, grids forming. Park layered spoofs thicker. They see their whole fleet rallying, comms locked. Ilias patched flows. Redundance infinite, arcologies hold. Rojas gripped tighter, systems eternal. Invaders chased metrics into the void. 9th wave committed. Drift began. Deep in the fortress guts, a Marine squad hit Paydert. Sergeant Hale's voice crackled over comms. Ma'am, captured their jump logs. 9th wave pathing straight into our sheer fields. 10th massing behind. Perfect. Rojas tagged the data. Feed to Ward. Rotate for intercept. Ward nodded. Checklists updated, gates priming. Vor's log spilled secrets, concordance underestimated Earth, labeled defenseless, restraint read as weakness. No fleets massed, no guns showed, just silence, until now. Shockwaves from scuttled escorts rattled the lattice again. Ilias clamped harder. Pushing civilian limits, power rationing live on 3 continents. Hold, Rojas repeated. Tenders gated in fresh fusion cells from lunar yards. Logistics flowed. Park spoofs peaked. Invaders saw human collapse, fleets shattering. They pressed. 8th wave flagship transited. Gates yawned in their ammo holds. Explosions chained internal. Marines poured through. Value captures at 90, Ward reported. Drive secured. Rojas watched the successor's crew marched out, zip-tied, gaping at human tech. No awe in their eyes yet, that came later. Ninth signatures sharpened, armada scale. Rojas ran the equation, pods sufficient. Gates ready, timing. Drift them coreward, she said. Into the reserves? Ward complied. Grids rotated seamless. Invaders chased the bait. Ninth wave warped blind. Sheer mines sang. Carriers vaporized. Fortresses listed. Gates blooming inside. Ilias whooped. Lattice peak held. Civilian webs unbreakable. Park laughed. Their admirals screaming orders to ghosts. Rojas allowed a nod. Collaboration, her logistics, Ilia's architecture, Ward's precision, Park's lies. 10th wave loomed. Galactic reserves, full commit. Spin it up, she said. Ward pulsed the gates. New icons warped blind. Hell yawned wider, but intel pinged. 11th signatures, Empire core, beyond metrics. Rojas reset pallets. Earth factories roared. Logistics infinite. Equation held. War flipped permanent. A final hail pierced the static from the Armada lead. How, your world defenseless? Rojas closed the channel. Humans won by opening doors they never saw. Tank bloomed fresh blue. Pods surged. Gates pulsed. Drift eternal. Reserves next. Reserves, this is high strategist Vor. Jump to Earth orbit, sector Theta-9, secure the prize. The transmission crackled across Lieutenant Park's deception feed. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas leaned forward in her command cradle. Her primary grid pulsed with invader signatures. 11th wave. Galactic core assets, full commit. They're biting, Park said. Her fingers danced over U consoles. I've got their jump vectors locked, exposing gaps now. Rojas nodded. She tapped her logistics overlay. Orbital defenses lit selective, 8% coverage, defenseless by their metrics. Invaders chased shadows across pre-measured arrival boxes. Cubic kill zones, 10 clicks cubed, gates primed at every vertex. Drift the bait pods coreward, Rojas ordered. 2 degrees, sell the retreat. Captain Ward's voice cut in, calm as machined steel. Affirmative. Pods maneuvering, gates holding sync. Hollow grids rotated. False sensor ghosts fled toward Sol reserves. 9th and 10th remnants pursued. 11th wave warped in blind, doctrines screaming easy occupation. Warp flares ignited Theta-9. Battleships materialized, carriers. Fortress hulks, 200-plus hulls, engines hot for orbital burn. Boxes sealed, Ward reported. Opening gates. Rojas watched munitions feeds spike. Captured invader stockpiles, plasma lances, sheer mines, torpedo swarms from prior waves. Ward's web funneled them seamless. Thousands of microgates yawned inside the boxes. 0-point range. Hell erupted. First carrier shuddered. Its own torpedoes rematerialized in its bays. Detonations chained through bulkheads. Secondary blasts ripped armor plates. Debris bloomed outward, shearing neighbor drives. Value captures initiating, Ward said, no inflection. His checklists ticked flawless. Gates stabilized amid the chaos. Marines pre-deployed through subnets poured aboard listing wrecks. Boarding pods latched. Breach charges popped. Fortress command ship bucked. Sheer mines bloomed internal. Hulls vented atmosphere. Rojas grid tagged secured drives. 87%. Park whooped. Fake surrender channel live. They're responding, every ship pinging back. Rojas glanced at the secondary feed. Park's Yonet broadcast a fabricated human plea, flickering beacons, automated Morse pleading terms. Invader transponders lit up in reply. Auto tags locked. Gateweb algorithms slurped the data. Precision targeting refined to meters. 11th leads hailing, Park said. Surrender accepted. Stand down weapons. Idiots. High strategist Keth Vor's bridge feed ghosted across intercepts. His scaled face twisted, 7 eyes wide. Sensors fed him clean orbits. Human defenses fractured. Reserves crushed the gaps. Secure landing zones, Vor barked in his tongue. Translators hummed. Occupy the defenseless rock. Doctrine holds. His fleet advanced. Engines flared blue. Then Ward struck. Gates pulsed wider. Captured plasma lances reversed course. Point-blank salvos hammered forward shields. Carriers crumpled mid-burn. One fortress spun, Gates vomiting its own munitions back into engineering. Marines swarmed. Deck 3 secured, a squad lead reported. Crew zip-tied, drives ours. Rojas ran the equation, pods infinite. Factories planetside churned fresh. Logistics scaled. Invader ammo recycled. Their metrics shattered. Ilias patched in from the gate lattice core. Civilian webs at peak, failsafes modular redirecting overloads now. her voice cracked with triumph. Propulsion rigs, once for commuter hops, now a galaxy-spanning ambush net. Invaders never scan the distributed nodes. Billions of transit gates hidden in plain sight. Vor's fleet fragmented, survivors scattered. His flagship clawed for retreat vector, standard corridor jumped to rally point Bravo. Segmenting the corridor, Ward said, checklist complete. Rojas approved. Gates along the escape axis chopped fine. Kill pockets formed, 5-click traps, munitions primed. Vor jumped. His battler spat into the first pocket. Gates yawned. Recycled shear mines sang, armor shredded, crew compartments vented. Emergency vector shift, Vor roared, translators caught panic. Reroute to, second pocket claimed escorts, plasma reversed, explosions lit the void. Rojas grid bloomed red then blue, secured hulks, Marines marching crews out. Zip-tied aliens gaped at human riggers hot-wiring their drives. No awe yet, that came later, Park laughed. Admirals screaming to ghosts are fakes on the bands. Vor's final hail pierced static. How metrics clear, your world defenseless. Rojas closed the channel. She reset pallets. Earth factories roared below. Pods surged anew. Gates pulsed. Drift eternal. But intel pinged 12th signatures, Empire Heartworld fleets, beyond reserves. Spin reserves, she said. Ward complied. Grids rotated seamless. Warp flares sharpened. 12th wave inbound. Rojas exposed fresh gaps. Bait pods drifted. Equation held. High strategist Keth Vor gripped his command rail. Bridge lights flickered. Damage reports screamed. 200 ships reduced to hulks in minutes. Human gates impossible. Sensors lied. Status, he demanded. Tactician hissed. 80% losses. Drives captured. Marines aboard. Human shock troops. No power armor, yet they breach us. Vor's eyes narrowed. Restraint was weakness. Doctrines proved it. Earth orbitals sparse. Metrics victory, yet. Escape corridor beckoned. Rally Bravo, regroup. Full retreat, jump now. Flagship warped. Reality sheared. Kill pockets snapped shut. Mines detonated. Bulkheads buckled. Vor tumbled. Alarms wailed. Revector all ships. Escorts materialized behind. Gates bloomed. Their own torpedoes turned inbound. One carrier exploded outright. Debris fielded the pocket. Vor's helm fought. Manual thrust. Dodged the blooms. A human gate yawned amidships. Boarding pod latched. Breaches hissed. Marines poured through. Compact rifles barked. Vor's guards fell. They zip-tied him mid-lunge. Human lead scanned the bridge. Calm, efficient. Vor glared. How? The Marine hauled him up. Logistics. They marched him past secured drives. Human tech interfaced seamless. Gates hummed, civilian patterns weaponized. Awe hit then. Humans won by doors. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas watched the 12th signatures resolve. Bigger, meaner, Empire Corps elites. Pods sufficient? She asked Ward. Checklist green, Gates synced. Park grinned. Fake surrender variant 2 live, tagging protocols updated. Ilias chimed. Lattice unbreakable, coreward drifts prepped. Rojas nodded. Collaboration, her equation, their execution. Invaders chased bait. 12th warped blind. Boxes sealed. Gates opened. Munitions dumped. Marines flowed. Vor's successor feed cut. A new admiral hailed desperate. Coordinates for parley? Park tagged it. Fake reply bounced. Surrender faint. Rojas closed her eyes a beat. Factories ramped. Logistics infinite. 13th loomed in scans. Equation expanded. War flipped. Permanent. Captain Elias Ward monitored the web from his ops nexus. Thousands of gates synced flawless. No improvisation. Checklists ruled. 13th vectors acquired, he reported. Rojas' voice steady. Drift them in. Pods shifted. Invaders pursued. Warp signatures bloomed. Ward pulsed the net. Gates yawned precise. Explosions chained. Captures spiked. Value at 95, he said. Marines reported decks. Drives secured. Lieutenant Juno Park vectored the Yiu storm. Fake channels swarmed. Invaders pinged eager. Tags locked. Their new leads buying the parley, she said. Tagging full. Her consoles painted targets. Gate algorithms fed Ward. Dr. Sana Ilias rode the lattice pulse. Civilian gates flexed. Failsafes modular. Overloads rooted. Peak held, she whooped. Rojas orchestrated. Logistics first. Equation pure. Invaders landed in the math. Every time, hooks extended. 13th trapped. 14th pinged distant. Earth's web waited. Infinite. High strategist Keth Vor knelt in human custody. Bridge a tomb. Aliens know humans worked his drives. Their tools hummed alien frequencies. A female officer approached. Rojas intercepts named her. You hid this, he accused. She met his eyes. You never looked. Marines marched more crews. Factories visible on external feeds, churning pods endless. Vor calculated, metrics failed, their systems won. Awe settled, humans opened doors galaxies feared, Rojas turned away. Grid bloomed fresh signatures, 14th inbound. Reset pallets, she said, war churned on. Earth's math eternal, Rojas knelt to his level, she extended a datapad. Ceasefire terms, high strategist Vor, surrender your navigation keys, hand over fleet doctrine archives. Earth guarantees your crew's safety. Keth Vor glared at the glowing screen. Human fingers tapped beside his knee. Marines flanked him, their rifles hummed low. His bridge consoles sparked under their tools. External feeds flickered, endless human factories spat capture pods. He spat static through his mandible translator. Your ambush metrics impress. But my 13th fleet holds reserves. Doctrine demands breakout. We refuse. Rojas tilted her head, no flinch. Transmit the order, watch the result. Vor keyed his emergency channel, fleet-wide ping. All commands, coordinated breakout to primary corridor, Alpha formation. Burn cores if needed, metrics favor us, 90 vectors free. Confirmations flooded. His lead cruiser Vengeance Spear accelerated, destroyers flanked, pods trailed debris, human gates yawned nearby, silent, Vor's sensors locked. They hesitate, push. Captain Elias Ward's voice cut through Ward's console feed, visible on Rojas' pad. Com. Checklist Phase 4, collapse selected gates, sequence Alpha 1 to Zeta 9. Gates shimmered, not all, precise slices. Vengeance Spear veered, escape lanes narrowed. Vor's plot updated. Reform Beta Vector, Ward pulsed next. Drift confirmation, collapse Beta 3. Gates folded inward like closing jaws, Spear's flankers crumpled into warp shear. Explosions lit the void, Vor gripped his armrest. Evasive spirals, primary corridor, now. Lieutenant Juno Park's signal storm hit. Fake human channels swarmed his scopes, ghost signatures bloomed. Enemy reinforcements inbound, his U officer barked. False panic laced the intercepts. Park's voice leaked from Rojas' line. They're buying the parley faint, tags full. Feed to algorithms, Vor snarled. Ignore ghosts, Spear leads, remaining 40 Titan. Ward nodded to his screens. Thousands of gates networked, distributed web. Narrow lane active, funnel primed. Gates collapsed in ripple, invader breakout compressed. 40 ships squeezed into one thread. Vengeance Spear bucked, hull groaned. Dr. Sana Ilia's lattice pulsed, her voice whooped over open comms. Stable gate opening, direct to secure yard, modular failsafes green, funnel live. Amaw yawned ahead, not escape. Human built, vast. Edge glowed civic blue, civilian transit hues, but weaponized. Spear plunged in. Vor's feed whited, then stabilized. Holding yard, massive, docking arms extended. Human tugs swarmed, capture fields locked drives, pods latched seamless. Second wave captured, Ward reported, flat. Value at 98%, Ilias laughed. Peak load held, web routes overloads, civilian gates flex like always. Vor watched feeds, his fleet funneled, no losses on human side, gates hummed under full combat. Pods churned from factories, infinite supply, Rojas stood. Your breakout failed, sign. Vor calculated, metrics lied. His fleet, superior firepower, doctrine pure, humans, systems layered, logistics endless, timing surgical. Marines hauled his surviving officers. They knelt too, eyes wide at the yard cams. Human engineers boarded Spear, tools hummed, drives secured without a shot. Vor's claw trembled on the pad, navigation keys transferred, archives dumped. Signed, Rojas nodded. Welcome to the web. External feeds bloomed, 14th signatures inbound, human grid reset. Gates yawned fresh, Vor rose under guard, a Marine slapped his shoulder. Casual. To the yard, he followed, doors everywhere, human doors, galaxies away from home, but here, stable, eternal. Rojas' voice echoed fleet-wide. Reset pallets, 14th trapped. War churned. Vor's awe settled. Humans built doors, invaders walked through. Captain Elias Ward wiped sweat from his brow, screen stabilized. Capture tally full, web integrity 100. Lieutenant Juno Park leaned back. Their lead bought every fake, storm perfect. Ward checked his checklist, never skipped. Phase 5, debrief Rojas. But Vor's signature pinged, confirmed. Ward exhaled. Humans won quiet, no head hop. Back to Vor, wait, discipline. Vor stepped into the yard airlock. Human Marines flanked, no chains. Trust in their math. Dr. Sana Ilias met them at the hatch, turban neat, eyes sharp. High strategist, your core's intrigue, failsafe mods, ours now. Vor clicked assent. Study your gates, modular genius, she grinned. Civilian start, war finish, Yard thrummed. Captured ships docked row on row. Human crews swarmed, logistics teams inventoried, pods reloaded seamless. Rear Admiral Mina Rojas appeared on the overlook. She gestured Vor forward. View your fleet, safe, productive soon, Vor scanned. Spear's hull gleamed under repair drones. Factories below churned more gates, distributed, hidden in plain sight. You declared us defenseless, Rojas said. Metrics, Vor met her gaze. Blind, sensors saw gates as transit, not web, she nodded. Logistics equation, we supply. You fight, alarms pinged soft. 14th inbound, Rojas tapped her comm. Ward, sequence ready? Affirm, Ward replied, comm park chimed. Deception live, Ilias flexed a panel. Lattice green, Vor watched, gates bloomed, invaders pursued phantoms, funnel waited. Again, he muttered, Rojas smiled faint. Eternal. He signed deeper terms in his mind. Humans opened doors, fleet knelt at thresholds. Marines guided him to quarters, Spartan, a gate terminal glowed. Home call authorized after debrief. Vor sat, feeds looped, web under load. Combat steady, no strain, all rooted, doctrine cracked. Human systems prevailed, outside Rojas paced command. 14th value projected 99, Ward confirmed. Checklist complete. War flipped, Earth's web infinite, but Vor's door hummed, he keyed home fleet. Abort. Surrender advised. Static replied. Too late, gates waited. Humans built everywhere. Rojas watched Vor's transmission, secure channel, her pad logged it. Good, she said. One less vector, Ward plotted next. 15th signatures faint. Park spoofed them blind. Ilias tuned the pulse. Logistics turned. Metrics bowed. Invaders came for helpless dirt. Signed at human doors. Vor stared at his pad. Signed copy glowed. Navigation keys Earth's now. Doctrine dissected. He rose, walked the yard. Doors lined walls, each a gate. Each a trap sprung. A Marine nodded. Coffee, Vor accepted. Hot, black, human fuel. Thanks, she grinned. Web special. He sipped, watched drones rebuild Spear, his ship, their tool, galaxies shifted. At a door, Rojas' voice boomed soft. Welcome, strategist, math eternal. Vor nodded, off full, 14th trapped, 15th pinged. Web waited, humans won, door by door.